Welcome to the Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Thanks so much for listening. Today, what we know about a horrific school shooting. And a new immigration deal is in the works. Plus, satellites for more internet, Google's ad blocker, and Drake's surprise. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. And hang out today after the news for 3 Question Thursday. I'm talking with a travel expert about what studies show are the best times to buy and fly, a new travel alert system, and some top destinations. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Thursday, February 15th. You ready? Let's do this. We start today with an awful shooting at a high school in Florida. CNN reports at least 17 people were killed, both teachers and students. Police say the alleged shooter is 19 years old. Reports say his name is Nicholas Cruz, that he used to go to the school where this happened but was expelled. Police arrested him a short time after the shooting yesterday. The AP says he first set off a fire alarm to draw students out of classrooms, and then he started shooting. Some say he's a known troublemaker and has shown off his guns before. An immigration deal is now in the works. Senators from both parties came together to come up with a solution. But the New York Times reports it's unclear if 1, it'll get the votes it needs from the rest of Congress, and 2, if President Trump would go for it. So here's what this new proposed bill would do. Give $25 billion to border security, including President Trump's wall, but over 10 years' times, not immediately like the president wants. It would also offer a path to citizenship for young undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. That would also be over 10 to 12 years, and they couldn't sponsor their parents to become citizens. It wouldn't change the visa lottery system, and that's another reason why President Trump is saying he may veto this if it even passes. Democrats argue he's just not willing to compromise. There are a couple other proposed bills in the works as well, including a different one that the president is supporting. So we'll see what lawmakers end up voting on. Lawmakers have unofficially given themselves a deadline at the end of this week to come up with something and get it passed. President Trump says he's, quote, totally opposed to domestic violence. He says he shouldn't have to say it. But he did clarify his stance this week because he had faced some criticism. Why? He was complimentary about a former aide, Rob Porter, you might remember him, that is stepping down because of domestic abuse accusations. Also, the president's personal lawyer is saying he did pay a porn star to keep her quiet about an alleged affair with the president. Fox News reports the lawyer said he gave $130,000 of his own money before the 2016 presidential election. He was clarifying that the Trump campaign did not pay anything. The adult film star known as Stormy Daniels is now saying the lawyer talking about the payment invalidates the agreement. So now she plans to tell her story. TBD on exactly what she'll say or when. All right, other things people may be talking about today. SpaceX wants high-speed internet access for everyone on Earth, and CEO Elon Musk is taking the first steps to actually make it happen. SpaceX will launch a satellite this Saturday using one of its Falcon 9 reusable rockets, plus 2 experimental communication satellites. This will help test what Musk hopes will turn into thousands of interlinked satellites orbiting Earth. CNN says this could eventually help provide internet access to areas where fiber optic cables and cell towers don't really do the trick. Think rural areas. Starting today, the Google Chrome internet browser will start blocking some ads you see online, especially the spammy kind that pop up or cover your whole screen or automatically start playing sound. The Wall Street Journal says there are different explanations as to why. Google says it's just more user-friendly. But some others in the industry say it's really just self-serving for Google, so the company can decide which ads to block, and it probably won't be their own. If you buy an Apple HomePod, you know Apple's new smart speaker, be careful where you put it. TechCrunch reports some customers have complained that it's leaving marks on wood furniture, like wood desks and tables. Apple has now added this issue to its support page, saying it's not unusual and the mark should go away after several days once the speaker is removed. Apparently, it's an issue of the oils on the silicone mixing with the wood. So, just a heads up. Netflix just scored another big-time TV producer for some big bucks. The New York Times says Ryan Murphy signed a 5-year deal worth $300 million, making it one of the largest ever deals for a TV producer. Murphy was the guy behind shows like Glee and American Horror Story. His contract with 21st Century Fox ends this summer. Netflix already has a deal with another big-time producer, Shonda Rhimes, the creator of shows like Scandal and Grey's Anatomy. That deal was for $100 million. While both are nice paychecks, Refinery29 points out some people are criticizing Netflix for what seems like a big gender pay gap. Murphy got $300 million, Rhimes $100 million. Stay tuned for new Netflix shows from both producers. A maid in Miami just got a surprise, a $10,000 shopping spree from rapper Drake. Drake said he saw her story about a 4-hour commute on the bus to and from her work at a hotel, so he surprised her with a spa day and a shopping spree. It's one of several good deeds that Drake did, and that Entertainment Tonight says will also be featured in Drake's music video for his newest single. That's it for the main news today, but it is time for 3 Question Thursday, where I ask just a few questions of an expert about a different topic every Thursday. And today, you may have spring break or even summer travel on your mind, so my guest is travel expert Shellie Bailey-Shah. She's the editor of KidTripster, an online family travel magazine that provides information and inspiration to families traveling anywhere in the world. So, some really good information in here. Let's get started. Hello, Shellie. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about what I think is the most interesting thing, and that's the best time to book your travel. We all try to get the best deals by having all these hacks, right? So what is the best time to book your flights and to actually fly?
That's a really good question. And every year, ARC, or the Airlines Reporting Corporation, crunches the numbers to reveal trends. And this year, it discovered that the best day to book online airfare is actually Sunday, which is different from last year. Last year, it was Saturday. So on average, you'll get cheaper fares on Sunday. It also predicted the cheapest days to fly. So if you're flying internationally, you'll want to leave on a Thursday or Friday. Domestically, it really varies by city, so no real trend there. But if you're flying first or business class, you'll want to depart on Friday or Saturday.
So for most people, book the flight on a Sunday, travel on a Thursday or Friday.
Absolutely.
When should we think about spring break travel and summer travel and holiday travel? When are the times to actually be booking travel for those time periods?
You know, it used to be that people would wait until the last minute hoping to score a deal, but those deals just don't really exist anymore. The airlines have gotten really smart about predicting what their traffic is going to be. So as a general rule, you want to book as far out in advance as you possibly can. So, for sure, you should be thinking about summer travel right now. And if you're looking for a good deal, I'm recommending the Caribbean. That's because tourism is down in the Caribbean because of the hurricanes that happened in the fall, even on islands that didn't sustain any damage. And many of the islands that did sustain damage are now coming back online. So the Caribbean is a good spot to start this year.
Good stuff. So when we actually go to travel, there's something else that all travelers tend to look at, and that's, is the place we're traveling to safe? So especially for families, I know the U.S. State Department is changing the way it's telling travelers about those dangers and alerts around the world. And that happened pretty recently. So how does that new system work? What should we know about it?
Yeah, that new system actually came online just last month. The State Department's old system of alerts and warnings was kind of confusing. So under this new revamped system, every country is assigned a travel advisory ranking from 1 to 4. So 1 means exercise normal precautions, on up to 4, which means do not travel there. Places like Iran, Syria, North Korea. For example, Jamaica is now a level 2, which means exercise increased caution. And that's because the Jamaican government just warned tourists last month not to venture too far from their resorts because of crime. So before planning any international trip, you want to check the State Department's website.
And I know we talked about it on the Newsworthy that even parts of Mexico are a level 4 now. So that's something to check for sure. All right, let's lighten things up a little bit. What is your favorite place to travel with your family, both in the U.S. and abroad, and why?
Wow, so many choices. I'd say domestically, I'm a huge fan of the national park system. I love national parks. My family loves national parks. And we actually have this kind of thing going where we're trying to visit each and every one of them. We've currently visited 44. So we're doing pretty well. Internationally, I'm going to go with Cambodia, which may be surprising to some of your listeners, but Cambodia is a fabulous destination. Lots of culture, lots of sights, but most importantly, the people are wonderful, warm, and welcoming. So I'll go with Cambodia. And I should say on the horizon, I'm headed to Antarctica in December. So I don't know, maybe that'll be my new favorite place. We'll see.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much. That was really good information. And I know we'll link to all of the articles with tips and all of that travel stuff that you have on KidTripster.com. We'll link to that in the show notes. Thanks so much for being here again, Shellie.
Thank you.
Shellie will join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook Live to answer your travel questions. So join us at facebook.com/Erica Mandy tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. And of course, you'll also find links to all the news stories mentioned in today's episode at thenewsworthy.com. From the homepage, just click episodes and then today's date. Thanks so much again for listening. The Newsworthy is ready for you by 4 a.m. Eastern time every weekday. We'll chat again tomorrow. Have a great day.